story before where we were making dinner, or he was making dinner, and I came around the corner over here into the front room, and I'm like, why do I smell natural gas? That's bad. And then I walked over here to the dining room table, and I'm like, boy, it's really strong. And then I look over here, and he's got a burner on, but there's no flame underneath it. And I'm like, did you see that this is not on? So I walked over and I turned it off, and he says, well, that makes sense. I wondered why the sauce wasn't bubbling. And I'm like, could you not smell? How much gas did you let off into this house? I had to open up the windows. I mean, it's not like it was bad. It wasn't like a strong smell. It was just a whiff. And when you grow up where I grew up, we had free gas well. We had a gas well. We actually sold, I think they actually still sell gas to somebody. I don't know if it's Columbia Gas now or not. But my parents have a gas well on their property. We've had free gas for generations in that area. Pump jacks everywhere, and when you hear the pump jacks go off in the deep holler, it sounds like Indian war drums. And that's what Dad would tell me. Oh, those are Indian war drums down there. They're getting ready to attack when we were kids and stuff like that. And his grandfather. His grandfather, my great-grandfather was Cherokee. So, that doesn't excuse the weird kind of racist, but you kind of stop because you're like, they are Native Americans, so is using themselves in a derogatory way that way the same or not? But, it was 35 years ago, so whatever. So you'd hear the pump jacks going off down in the holler, and it would be bump, 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 bump. I mean, it'd just be rhythmic, and it would just sound like drums. It was very, very wild. But we would have free gas, and whenever Dad would drain drips, so you pump the gas out of the ground, and with that gas comes water and condensation and that kind of a thing. So there are areas near the pumps called drips where you would turn a nozzle after pumping the well, and you would shoot out like a gallon or 2 or 3 of water that you've brought up along with this gas, and it would shoot out of the pipe. And then about the time it slows to, and it wasn't just a trickle or just like flowing out. The gas pressure, it was like a cannon shooting water. It was like watching someone put out a fire with a fireman's fire hose. It was just a gush of water, and then because you were backing away from it, it was like one of those. He would have to have a large pair of channel locks to grip the nut and, turn it. And then when it would just start hiss with gas, you would shut it. And the smell that they put into gas for consumer use is completely different than the smell of actual natural gas. I mean, I guess it's necessary because consumers will, they'll smell anything and not pay attention sometimes. But it just has this really distinct smell that doesn't smell like rotten eggs. It just smells like it's just that much of a whiff off of actual gasoline smell, kind of, just a little bit. So, but they pump that rotten egg smell into the natural gas, so it smells different, but you can tell through the egg smell that it's natural gas because I grew up with that smell. Gas stoves, gas furnace, gas heater, so we were a natural gas family, and surrounding area, basically. We're all surrounded by natural gas. So it's fascinating. The fact that my father can still go down into those woods and drain those gas well drips is amazing. So, I mean, it's very labor intensive. It's very, very, very labor intensive. So, but yeah, I came around the corner and I'm like, what smells like gas? So I looked at the fireplace and I'm like, well, no, the fireplace isn't on because it's a natural gas fireplace, but there's no chimney. And it's got mechanisms in it that will turn off the gas if it sits for longer than a minute and the lighter won't light it. So, but these, for some reason, these will just let gas come out and not turn off, which is really strange. You would think that at this point there would be some kind of a shut off after it sits there for a minute, but it was stinky. Okay, so this is the Peruvian. We are about done with this, I think. There's very few beans left, but I'll tell you, the smell has definitely lessened, and it's gotten to the point where it's smelling like a can of pre-ground Folgers, you know, the big red ones. So you know at about that point, your stuff's getting stale. So, I mean, it still smells wonderful. This Peruvian is absolutely fantastic. And hopefully in March, when we go back down, I'll be able to go back to the Island Roasters in New Smirna and be able to get some more coffee. We're almost there. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to grind this up. We're going to do our clever. So we're going to hitch up the grind a little bit here and see if it drains better. I'm going to put it up to a 30, which is a far more coarser grind. And I want to see what that does to the clever here. It's actually pretty fascinating to watch it grind at a higher setting because it just goes down through so faster. Look how nice and pebbly. They're out there messing with the leaves. The people that come out and mow our yards and whatnot, they're out there fiddling with the leaves, trying to make everything look less brown, I guess, and they're failing miserably. So it's just loud. It's just loud and obnoxious. So it still smells wonderful ground up, but it is getting to the point where when I opened up the package to give it a sniff, it was very Folgers-y. So, and then, wow, that's a great very loose grind there. Very coarse, not loose. Well, I guess it is loose. I mean, look at that. It's loose. I know what I said. So our water's done, and therefore we shall pour. And again, there's no need to, I mean, you can, I suppose, allow this to wet. I keep losing the word. It's really silly how I keep losing words. It's like a constant struggle anymore to remember words. I'm gonna get up to about 400 here. That's what I can safely do here. Boop. 400. That's beautiful. What is the word? I keep. It'll come to me someday. It'll come to me someday, and I'll shout it out loud, and everybody will hear it. Anyhow, something that came up a few days ago that Matt brought up to me. Apparently, the Arnold Palmer estate sued Liquid Death because of their armless Palmer. Liquid Death is a tasty water beverage that's infused with a couple of different things. It's supposed to be sugar-free-ish. It does have agave nectar in it. This has black tea, lemon juice, concentrate, citric acid, natural flavors, lemon. So they have a variety. It's expensive, kind of ridiculously expensive. A very premium thing. And they do have just water, but they have these flavored ones. And I personally like the tea. They have a wonderful peach tea. They also have a new like mountain berry tea that's really good. But this is an iced tea. It's an armless Palmer. So the Arnold Palmer people decided to sue Liquid Death because they have a trademark on the last name Palmer, which to me is kind of weird. I don't know how you can trademark a last name. I mean, this is obviously parody. Armless Palmer because it's an Arnold Palmer, and it's Liquid Death, so it's more of a macabre kind of themed thing. I think there's like a chainsaw berry, and I mean, there's lots of different flavors that are just kind of a macabre take on something, and this is, of course, a take on an Arnold Palmer, which is a drink that Arnold Palmer didn't originate but made popular. It's iced tea and lemonade. So you have unsweetened iced tea and you put lemonade in it, and it's like half that and half the other, and they mix together. And it's, you know, it's lemon iced tea, and which tastes nice, but it's sweet lemonade, so it's even a little bit better. So the Arnold Palmer people decided, because I think Arnold Palmer passed away, I believe. So his estate has decided to sue Liquid Death for them to change the name. And I love what they decided to change the name to. Liquid Death's Armless Palmer drink changed to Dead Billionaire. Perfect. Now, I don't know Arnold Palmer. I don't follow golf. I don't know how he was. I don't know if he was a kind person. I don't know if he was a bad person. I don't know if he was kind in front of the camera and then a complete and total horrible person off camera. I don't know. I do know that his estate was really dumb for deciding to enact this lawsuit. I mean, you're not protecting a brand. I mean, how many people's last name is Palmer? You know? It's really strange to me. It really is. I don't get it. But they decided to go after this company who is selling these things, even though they are very expensive by the case, selling these things by the case. There are times when I would go into a Fresh Time and the peach that I would like to get, they come in like, what? It's not 12 packs. They're all tall ones like this. 8 pack, maybe, I think. More or less, something like that. But they sell them in these cases. So I like just get one and then like nurse the entire thing for like a month and a half. So so they have money to burn. So, I mean, they probably could have fought back saying it's parody. You know, I mean, I understand his last name is Palmer, but so are millions of other people's last names probably. So why? I mean, Arnold, I'm sure there are a lot of Arnolds still in the world, even though I think that name's probably fallen off the popular baby list circa 1980. But it's just so strange that they decided to do that. And now it's like, well, it's called Dead Billionaire now. Just so you know, this thing that we called Armless Palmer is now called Dead Billionaire. So, well done. We've associated this with you for the funsies, but now we're associating this with you because you are an idiot. It's mind-blowing. It's really strange. I don't get it. All right, we'll give this a little bit of a swirl. We're gonna do the thing. Holy cow, that drained so well. That was absolutely perfect. What a perfect little drain on this wonderful machine. Holy cow. That's the right size grind right there, about a 30. You can fiddle with it maybe, but, oh, and look at the color. Wow, that color. And the smell. You know, like I said, this Peruvian has gotten to the point where when I opened the bag, it smelled like Folgers. But once I ground it up, it definitely improved the aroma of the coffee because, you know, you've got all those exposed innards now. And now I said coffee innards and haha. So we're going to taste this now. Oh, it's really hot. Oh, but it's so good. We've still got our cocoa and almond. That'd be better when it's cooled down a little bit. We'll let that cool down before I take another sip. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it today. I hope you have a great weekend. We've got a Christmas party tonight. They're fun. I like Matt's office's Christmas parties. We're going to a bar. I don't know how that's going to go. I'm sure it will be open. Hopefully there will be lots of food so that people don't get so drunk. It's going to be another thing, you know, and then so many people Uber though. I find that that's really nice that a lot of people, if they know that they're going to drink, are now taking an Uber and then Ubering back to their home or to wherever they're going to stay. Some people have gotten, like, if they live far enough away, they've gotten a hotel in the city for the night. The amount of responsibility that's with a lot of the people that work there is really cool. So you know, that's awesome. I don't plan on drinking. I plan on eating a lot. I'm definitely not going to drink if I can help it. But you never know, I guess. But it's going to be at a bar. It's going to be downtown. Downtown is horrid. At least it's on a Thursday downtown, which means maybe it won't be as bad to find parking. But it's downtown Columbus, and bleh, bleh, hate downtown Columbus. But I'm going there, so I guess I'll have to get over it. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. Get yourself a cup of coffee, put your feet up, watch some TV for a minute. Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm going to do. We'll talk to you later. Bye.